I'm rarely shocked in this business after 40 years, and I wasn't shocked yesterday. Was I surprised the Ravens moved on from John Harbaugh? I was. Because the first thing I thought was, what if they make that field goal and they beat the Steelers and they go into the playoffs? Because Ian Rappaport of NFL Network said that John Harbaugh had lost the locker room. Well, would he have still lost the locker room going into the playoffs? What if you win a playoff game? Can you win back the locker room? Was this a mutual parting? Because it didn't sound like that with John Harbaugh. He didn't want to go, but the Ravens decided to move on. John Harbaugh will get a job if he wants a job. I worked with John at the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and he did a great job on TV. He was well prepared and had great stories. If he wants to go into TV, I know people have talked about Mike Tomlin. John Harbaugh could have that avenue if he chooses to reach out to the networks or his agent. But he will get a job. As soon as he was fired, one of my sources immediately said he'll be the Giants' number one candidate. He's going to have jobs probably to pick from. Now, here's the interesting part. You had Adam Schefter yesterday say that John Harbaugh's agent, within an hour of him being fired, I think Schefter said maybe 45 minutes, you had all of these, like 7 teams reached out to him. Okay. Well, there's 7 openings, including the Ravens. The Ravens, of course, didn't reach out to him. So then you have to maybe look at this and go, are there teams in the playoffs who may have reached out? Can they reach out quietly? Third party, because you don't want that to get out. If all of a sudden you're going, wait a minute, I'm coaching a game and they're reaching out behind my back. I'm assuming there are coaches who think they're secure in their jobs who maybe didn't make the playoffs. I don't know if you could see a situation where all of a sudden the Buffalo Bills are reaching out, or throw out a team that might be, Nick Sirianni and the Eagles, if they would get bounced, would they reach out to John Harbaugh? Like, I don't know to what depth this goes, but imagine you're going to work and you're not quite sure if you're secure because you made it through Monday. And I think John Harbaugh probably thought, I made it through Monday. You didn't make it through Tuesday. And now all of a sudden he's on the outside looking in. But I go back to Lamar Jackson. I tried not to make a big deal about it. I wanted to be fair to Lamar Jackson. They lose the game to the Steelers in dramatic fashion. And we listened to the interviews after the game, pick and choose what we want to use. And Marvin said, listen to this. And I said, wow, he could have answered that differently. But I was being fair to him that, there's a cooling down period, not a long period, and then you go and meet with the media. Here is the question and Lamar's answer about John Harbaugh.
Do you want to see John remain the coach next year?
You asked me about next year, Jameson. Like, I'm so caught up in what just happened tonight. I can't focus on that right now. I just told you, like he asked me, are you stunned? I'm stunned right now. I'm still trying to process what's going on. Like, I know we lost, but what the that's all.
No. Unless that's how he really felt. I don't want to worry about John Harbaugh. This was a terrible loss here. I'm processing this. But the easy way to answer that was, yes. But, hey, I don't want to talk about that now. I'm trying to process. We just lost a game. Unless he doesn't want John Harbaugh back. Feels like there was something going on. After 18 years, like when they say you lose the locker room, well, how many players are there? Nobody's there for 18 years. It's rare when you have, how many guys are going to be there for 5 consecutive years? So you lose the locker room. When did you lose the locker room? And if so, who did you lose in that locker room? Did you lose your quarterback? Did you lose Derrick Henry at some point? They had a team that was a Super Bowl favorite team, a roster that was that talented. You had one of the top 5 rosters. Now, injuries happen with everybody. But, you start to look at some of these moments that he's had. Zay Flowers with a fumble. Andrews with the drop ball last year, the missed kick that we just had. So you start to see these moments, and then you have a moment where John Harbaugh has Derrick Henry standing next to him on the sidelines during a game and didn't really play in the second half. And I thought, well, is he injured? Because then we see him in the next game, and he's running around like he's Red Grange, Jim Brown, or just Derrick Henry. And then you keep thinking, all right, something's up. Is Lamar Jackson all in? Does Lamar Jackson put in the effort that he should as a high-paid quarterback? You know, there's usually something there when you keep hearing that there's something there. You know, defense didn't play at an elite level that we've come to expect with the Ravens. But I'm always curious when somebody loses the locker room, what exactly does that mean? How many people are involved in that you lost, and what exactly did you lose? Their confidence in you? They didn't trust him anymore? Didn't buy into what he was saying? And I go back to Andy Reid, because the Eagles made a difficult decision with Andy Reid after 14 seasons. And at the time, it felt risky, and it felt maybe premature. Okay, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Okay, you're getting to NFC title games. So then he leaves. Eagles do prosper, but so does Andy Reid. The Patriots with Bill Belichick, 24 seasons. You win 6 titles. They're in decline for a few years. They bring in Mike Vrabel, and look at him this year. So after nearly 2 decades of relevance, the NFL doesn't reward nostalgia. It's, what are you doing for me right now? As Mike Tomlin may have found out, if Mike Tomlin lost that game against the Ravens, maybe there would have been a mutual parting. And it feels like if you're a Hall of Fame worthy coach, it should be a mutual parting, not fired. John Harbaugh got fired. It feels like that in the press release. They should say, you know what? We both decided it was a mutual parting. It wasn't a mutual parting because John Harbaugh did not want to go. But they got a really good owner. That front office has been great. They draft well, great fan base. They've had 3 head coaches. And now they must know who they're getting, because I've said this before. I even said it on Monday. I don't know if there's enough worthy candidates for all these openings. Well, Kevin Stefanski's getting a job, and John Harbaugh's getting a job, and we don't even know the other jobs that may become available here in the next week or so. Now, you can't hire somebody right away. The Giants can't say, John Harbaugh, you're our guy. You have to go through the process, the Rooney Rule. You have to do your interviews. But they can let his agent know, we want you. We're going to hire you. You tell us what your price is. So you can get ahead of the game behind the curtain here. But there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 other openings, from what I was told last night, that might surprise you. I talked about chaos in college football. My source said it's going to be chaos, in the offseason. Well, it is. I didn't know we would get chaos like this with the NFL, and we haven't even started the playoffs yet. Crazy. 877-3DP-SHOW, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle @DP-SHOW. Seton, poll question for hour 1 is going to be what?
Who's in a better position right now, John Harbaugh or the Baltimore Ravens?
I would say John Harbaugh, because he might be able to pick where he wants to go, get a fresh start. You go to the Giants, a lot of talent there. And once again, there could, what if this is crazy. Maybe it's too crazy. What if Mike Tomlin and the Steelers part ways and the Steelers reach out to John Harbaugh? Is that crazy?
As a theory, it's great, but it's hard to picture.
I know, but
are you not supposed to do that? But you've been fired, so there's no loyalty anymore.
Oh yeah, he has no loyalty
right
there. But I'm starting to wonder here, what scenarios would open up here? Maybe the Steelers and Ravens just trade coaches. How about that? Could have done that. Well, you can't do that this week because Mike's got a game coming up this weekend. But Matt LaFleur with the Packers feels weird. And his contract has been, kind of hanging there. And, what were they? 9-7-1? What if they don't beat the Bears this weekend? So once again, you just start to speculate here of the possible scenarios. And I'm not shocked that John got fired from the Ravens after 18 years. But it feels like, all right, we know who we can bring in. And what are you bringing in? You always bring in the opposite of what you had before. So who are you bringing in? What is that personality? Yes, Marvin.
Dan, it's the parting of ways.
Oh, that's right.
Sanitized.
Yeah. Parting of ways. Yes, Todd.
What if the Bills lose badly at the Jaguars? What if the Eagles do poorly against the Niners? What is the coaching situation for McDermott and Sirianni after something like that happens?
I think it's a fair question to ask. I don't know. It feels like Sirianni should get a hall pass if they would happen to lose, but that's another one that feels weird. If Buffalo gets roughed up, I don't know. I don't like change for change's sake. And it felt like Baltimore was change for change. Like, we have to change. I don't know who we're getting, but, we're going to change. Yes, Marv.
Yeah, the pressure is on McDermott because there's no Lamar, there's no Mahomes. You can't lose in the first round to Jacksonville. I don't care how good Jacksonville is. You can't, just the optics of you losing to the Jaguars is a terrible look.
I know.
For both. Josh Allen also.
I know. It's you can't say everybody is secure. It feels like they should be. Yes, Todd.
Especially, as we've said before in a year, no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. This is supposed to be the year the Bills at least get to the Super Bowl, if not win it all, which would make it even worse if they bow out early.
And, as I learned a long time ago, letting go of a legend is never easy, but sometimes it is necessary. I mean, I go back to the Cowboys with Tom Landry. I couldn't fathom that Tom Landry got fired. Tom Landry got fired. But that was, Jimmy and Jerry, and they're coming in, and they came in as a package deal. So, you start to look at, everybody's kind of vulnerable. And certainly in today's sports society, it just feels like everything is tenuous. Man, that guy's locked in. Until, Kansas City Chiefs fans were bummed out about Andy Reid. Andy Reid is on scholarship as long as he wants to, it seems like. But, I don't know, could he lose the locker room? Whatever that means. My head coach in basketball in college, he lost the locker room, and we lost all of our games too, so it really didn't matter. We were both losers. You lost the locker room. Well, you guys lose all the games. We're meant for each other. Give me a hug, Coach. Yes, Paul.
And then you hit the portal, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I hit the porta potty. That was it. I got flushed down. I was gone. All righty. We'll get to phone calls. More on the Ravens coming up. And we'll talk to Jamison Hensley, ESPN Ravens reporter. Was he the one asking Lamar that question? Play that again. This is the question that he asked.
Do you want to see John remain the coach for next year?
You asked me about next year, Jameson. I'm so caught up in what just happened tonight. I can't focus on that right now. I just told you. He asked me, "Are you stunned?" I'm stunned right now. I'm still trying to process what's going on. I know we lost, but what the that's all.
You just lost the sports Emmy. How do you feel about your wife? Oh, come on. You can't ask me if I love my wife. I just lost the sports Emmy here. No, that's where you say, I love my wife. But let me talk about the sports Emmy. You have to say that unless you really feel like you don't want him back.